This episode is brought to you by Microsoft Azure. Turn your ideas into reality with an Azure free account. Get everything you need to develop apps across cloud and hybrid environments, scale workloads, create cloud-connected mobile experiences, and so much more. Discover what you can create with popular services free for 12 months. Learn more at azure.com. That's AZURE.com. And sign up for a free account to start building in the cloud today.
Throw the best birthday party ever that your child will always talk about. Big Air Trampoline Park inside Fieldhouse USA at the Polaris Mall can do just that. Award-winning birthday party packages start at just $300. And all birthday parties include pizza, drinks, a party room with a party host, grip socks, printed invitations, and all 40 attractions at Big Air Trampoline Park. It's a birthday party you and your kids will never forget. Book your party today. Big Air Columbus, where the fun never ends. Visit BigAirUSA.com/Columbus for details.
Welcome to the Two-Footed Extra Pod. This is our quick hit show where I'll unpack the latest news and gossip, plus rumours in the world of football. This show was brought to you by our friends over at Liberty Shield. Did you know that Liberty Shield's VPN service not only keeps your data safe, but can also help you bypass government blocks on IPTV streaming? When connected to Liberty Shield, your internet activity is encrypted, meaning your ISP can't see or block those crucial live football streams when you sit down to watch. It genuinely is the ultimate solution for staying connected and never missing a match. Right now, you can save 25% by using the code EPL25OFF. That's EPL25OFF at checkout. All caps, no spaces. Oh, and one more thing. For more in-depth analysis on the biggest talking points from around the world of football, don't miss my main show, the Two-Footed Podcast, with new episodes dropping every single weekday. And if you want more from EPL Index, don't forget our Tad Predictable preview show or the Final Whistle review show recorded immediately after the big Sunday match. Now, let's crack on. It's good, boys and girls. Welcome to Two-Footed Extra. Today is Tuesday, the 24th of September. And unfortunately, I have made a significant error while doing Two-Footed today. And that is that I forgot about the most important part of the podcast, Big Dunk Watch. So, Inverness Caledonian Thistle. How did you get on at the weekend? A 1-1 draw for Big Dunk at Inverness at home to Cove Rangers. They went 1-0 down. They fought back heroically to snatch a draw at home. And what that means is that they are still sixth in the Scottish League One, the division that Big Dunk oversaw their relegation into. They have become the draw specialists in many ways. 5 draws from their 7 league games, a goal difference of 0. 6 goals scored, only 6 conceded. So Big Dunk overseeing the joint worst attack in the division, but the 4th best defence. More centre-backs, Dunk. Just put more centre-backs on, and that should help. So, for Big Dunk, who, you know, as we are aware, oversaw the relegation and demise of Forest Green, oversaw the relegation of Inverness Caledonian Thistle. The managerial record is as follows. At Inverness, 49 games, 16 wins, 18 draws, and 15 defeats. A 32.65 win rate. And for the career now, 71 games, 18 wins, 23 draws, and 30 defeats. A 25.35% win rate. He's not very good, is he? Like, he really is not very good. Right, onwards with the news then. And it is unfortunately more bad news on the injury front. Yerson Mosquera, who had finally gotten his opportunity at Wolves this year and had started the season playing pretty well in a team that was not playing well, was taken off on a stretcher on Saturday after twisting his knee And it now turns out he has torn both his ACL and his MCL and will require surgery on both and is going to miss the rest of this season. It's a tough one. Like, he arrives in the summer of 2021, comes over directly from Colombia, where he'd been at Atlético Nacional. He played one game his first year. Then he was loaned out to FC Cincinnati, where he did quite well, to Villarreal, where he was highly thought of. He's established himself in the Colombian national squad over the last 12 months. Not every squad, but he's in and about the squad in most call-ups now. Finally gets his shot at Wolves, and unfortunately, his season is already over. Now, he is still very young. He's got a lot of good attributes. He's aggressive. He's front-footed. He likes to make challenges in the air. He's decent on the ball. He's got good pace. The hope will be that he comes back good as new, but it's tough. It's always tough when you see a young player, especially, missing a year, an important year of their career. It's also tough now for Wolves. So if we look at their centre-back options, because undeniably he had been their best centre-back this year, you've got Craig Dawson, who's well past his best. You've got Toti Gomes, who's decent, but erratic is what I would say. You've got Mbuyu, Bastien Mbuyu, the 18-year-old that they signed from Nantes in the summer. He was not expected to play a whole lot this season, so we'll see what happens now. Does he start getting more minutes? You've got Justin Hubner, the Indonesian international, born in the Netherlands. He joined them 5 years ago. He's never played for them that I know of. He's played a bunch of under-21 games. Maybe now he has to get the call-up. And then there's Santiago Bueno, who I do like. I think he is a good defender. I think he's one that could and should be given an opportunity. He was really good for Girona for a number of years. Wolves signed him last summer. He only played 17 times in all competitions, 12 in the league. I think they've got to go with him now. I think he's got to be first choice. I think you've got to find the right partner for him. I think he's the best option they have. Maybe him and Toti Gomes, the pairing that works. Maybe it's him and Craig Dawson. I don't want to see Dawson and Gomes. That's not something anybody should want to see. That's a huge blow for Wolves and not what they needed given how bad their start of the season has been. Mikel Arteta says he prefers facts to words. That's unusual. He says his side's tactics in the draw against Man City were normal. No, they weren't. They weren't normal at all. You were getting battered and then you parked the bus. You played with 5 centre-backs, 2 defensive midfielders. I've never seen, ever, a top Premier League team do that. Ever. Unless it's a cup match, there's no excuse for that sort of tactical approach. Morgan Gibbs-White, Nuno Espirito Santo and Fabian Huzelier have all been charged by the Football Association following their red cards in Sunday's Premier League draw between Forest and Brighton. Gibbs-White was dismissed in the 83rd minute. But again, like, the midfielder has been charged with acting in an improper way and or using abusive and or insulting words towards fourth official Anthony Taylor. The referee said he played the ball. The referee said that. If the fourth official has come to the touchline and said something different, that's not the fourth official's job. And the referee is not allowed to ask for guidance from the fourth official. So this is some nonsense. And I can understand why both Gibbs-White and Nuno were furious. I'm not really sure what Hurzider did. I'm not sure what his involvement was, but he was sent off as well. Not sure who he spoke to. But It's all very messy, and it all comes down to an incompetent referee. This is good. Eric Ten Hag says, people have to trust me over Rashford. You haven't earned anything to be trusted. You haven't earned any trust at all. You're dreadful. Absolutely dreadful. If I give an explanation, they have to trust my words. If they don't, that's not right. Basically saying people are not allowed to question him, which is just nuts. There's a good piece on the BBC website on Hearts and their managerial hunt and how the club might move forward with Tony Bloom involved. I would recommend giving that one a read. Wimbledon have pumped 100,000 litres of water away from the ground. 100,000 litres of water. The entire stadium was left underwater, according to the club's managing director. The pitch suffered significant damage after the nearby River Wandle broke its banks on Sunday night. Yeah, I mean, you can see there's a bunch of images floating around. It doesn't look good at all. It really doesn't look good at all. There's a significant amount of water everywhere. There's a ton of water outside the stadium as well that was obviously seeping in. Really not good. Really not good. We filled 4 tankers which house 27,000 litres each, over 100,000 litres in total. With a running tap estimated to use 9 litres of water per minute, 100,000 litres is the equivalent of a tap being left on continuously for around a week. Just imagine, just consider that for a second. Consider how much water that is. That is mental. Hopefully there's no lasting damage, because it's a wonderful stadium they put together there at Plough Lane, and it had been so long waiting for Wimbledon to get back to Plough Lane. Hopefully that's nothing to that's going to leave long-term damage. There's a piece about Newcastle and their shaky defence. Piece about Wolves being sapped of joy. There's a few bits on the Friedkin group knocking around. There's a good piece here on Barrow and their bond with homeawaits.ca, which is, I believe, a Canadian travel tourism type site. So do check that out. And with that, I will go to break and come back with the gossip. See you in a second. Right, welcome back. So, the gossip today, Everton prospective owner Dan Friedkin has identified Gareth Southgate as a potential candidate to replace fellow Englishman Sean Dyche as manager at Goodison Park. Now, this is coming from Give Me Sport, which is a dreadful outlet, of course, and it is written by, I'm going to guess, Ben Jacobs is involved. So, spoofing of the highest level with Danger Ben. Liverpool are preparing to raid Bayer Leverkusen for their German midfielder Florian Wirtz, Netherlands defender Jeremy Frimpong, and Argentine midfielder Ezequiel Palacios. Let me tell you why these things are not happening. Wirtz will be too expensive. They already have Trent at right back. Now, if Trent left, Frimpong would be probably of interest. Palacios is too injury prone. He's a very good player. He's too injury prone. So I'm going to guess that Mark Russ, who is a dreadful spoofer, is telling lies on caught offside again. Liverpool are interested in Martin Zubimendi. That is from Romano. It is likely true, but he is guessing because he is obviously the greatest spoofer of all time. Liverpool and England defender Joe Gomez is wanted by Aston Villa and Newcastle. I mean, this is just regurgitation of what was taking place in the summer when both of those clubs were interested. And Wayne VC of Football Insider has no sources and is merely a spoofer. Real Madrid are monitoring Murillo, but face competition from Barcelona and Bayern Munich for the Brazilian. Now, this is written by Dan Owen. I have no idea who he is, but he manscapes his beard a little bit too much for my taste. But it's here in the city, which is largely a London-based. And as I look down, I see it's an exclusive from Graham Bailey, which is 100% spoofing. 100% spoofing. So we can put that one firmly in a bin. Newcastle, Manchester United and Tottenham are among the clubs interested in Angel Gomes. This is an exclusive from Caught Offside. Danny Rust and Dean Jones, 100% spoofing. Neither of them could hit sand if they fell off a camel, let alone find an exclusive story. Nottingham Forest are the latest club to express interest in Luka Kolyashu after his impressive form at Burnley. This is Matthew Wilkinson for Football Insider. Not aware of his work, but Football Insider is a dreadful collection of lads who specialise in spoofing. Barcelona will hold emergency talks this week to discuss whether to bring in a free agent goalkeeper to replace Marc-Andre ter Stegen, who is set to miss the whole season. And that's from ESPN, which, credibility is not great, but not bad either. So what goalkeepers are currently free agents? Let's have a look on Transfer Market and see who the free agent goalkeepers out there are. Is there anyone that would make any sense for Barcelona to bring in? There are some decent players, by the way, still out of contract. Umar Saleh, Yusuf Yaziki, Wissam Ben Yedder, Joel Matip. These are all out of contract. Dele Alli, technically still training with Everton, I believe. Rafinha, brother of Thiago, he's currently a free agent. Let's see what goalkeepers there are out there. Now, they'd probably have to get a dispensation from La Liga to do a signing because obviously they have trouble with registrations. So Christopher Klaassen is a free agent. He was at Leeds for a few years. He's not bad. Yuri Pavlenko, Sergio Rico, but he's injured. Keylor Navas, would he go there after being at Real for a long time? Maybe he would. Loris Karius is a free agent. There isn't anybody really standing out that would, if he was a bit younger, you'd look at Benoit Costil. But he's not, so you probably wouldn't. I'm trying to think who else is out there. Like, would they be allowed to do an emergency loan? I know the Premier League used to allow like emergency loans for a month to cover goalkeeping injuries. I'm not sure what La Liga will do. You're not going to get anybody good on a loan like that. That's for certain. I don't know. I don't know who they could get. There isn't anybody particularly strong out there. Claudio Bravo is prepared to come out of retirement to help the club in ter Stegen's absence. I mean, he's 41 years of age now. I'm not sure that helps. I'm also not sure Tom Gott isn't any more of a spoofer than the rest of them, given he's on 90minute.com, which is a website known for spoofing. Liverpool will open talks with Luis Diaz over extending his current deal. Again, it's Football Insider. It's almost certainly spoofing because sources, and Peter O'Rourke doesn't have any sources. But it is known that Liverpool are considering an extension for him. Several clubs are monitoring the development of Eintracht Frankfurt's in-form 20-year-old Swedish winger Hugo Larsson. That's Romano again. Larsson's a talented player, for certain, can play a multitude of positions. Was heavily linked with a move last year. He's not a winger, by the way. He's better in central areas. Wouldn't be at all surprised to see somebody make a move for him in January if he keeps up this good form, but they might not want to sell. They're in a really good position at the moment. Southampton are hoping to convince Tyler Dibbling to sign a new contract amid interest from Manchester United. Now, what's great about this is it's Danny Rust and Ben Jacobs, so you know there's spoofing. You know there's spoofing going on. And the best part of this is they're the ones that reported that United were interested. So they've now gotten 2 stories out of one lie. That's high-class spoofing for you. Sunderland are set to sign Aaron Connolly. Leeds are keen to open talks with Dan James over a new contract. Again, Football Insider. I'm guessing it's Peter O'Rourke. It is Peter O'Rourke. It's an exclusive. And again, it's just common sense when you look at the length of time left in this contract. So there we go, folks. There's your guide to spoofing today. I'll see you all tomorrow. Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.
This podcast is part of the Sports Social Podcast Network.
From cozy breakfast nooks to formal dining areas, Ashley has versatile dining options starting at just $499.99. And for a limited time only, you can receive a $250 mattress credit with the purchase of any 6-piece bedroom set. Plus, get 60 months special financing on select in-store purchases made with your Ashley Advantage Synchrony credit card. Shop and save today, only at Ashley. Subject to credit approval. Minimum monthly payments required. No minimum purchase required. See ashley.com for details.